Okay, so this is gonna be part two to what if Deku was a ghoul. So let's get into it. So our last left off, it was the end of the sports festival. Deku beat Bakugo in the finals, and yeah. So it's the next day. Um, Deku and Toga, they're walking to school. They arrive. They sit down. Aizawa pops up and starts explaining about the internships and all that. Um, Deku, he would get, he would, like Todoroki would have the most, but Deku's close behind him. And yeah, so I must say that a ghoul is like a hero. Like there's a hero that's secretly a ghoul, and Deku and Toga know about him, and they would go to his agency. I'm not gonna name him because he's not really important. So yeah, they go to his agency. Um, they just chill. They just talk about stuff. So they train a little, but that's really it. They just like talk and like train a little, and then the 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 goal person or the hero would get a phone call about Hosu City getting attacked, and they would all three of them would go to Hosu City. They would see the Nomus and fire everywhere, and Deku. I must say that I don't know if ghouls can smell blood, but I'm gonna just say that they can. So Deku, he smells like a familiar scent, or like Ida's blood. Cause I'm gonna say that that blood has the same scent as the person, I guess. So Deku, he would run towards where the scent is coming from. Toka, she would follow too. Eventually they would get to Ida. He's about to get cut or like stabbed by Stain. Deku, he would go for a punch. It would hit Stain, knocking him back. Deku would say like, "Are you okay, Ida?" Ida would say, "Yeah, I'm fine." Like, what are you doing here, though? Like this is none of your business. And Deku, he would look at Toga. He would nod, and Toga would knock Ida out. And I want to say that Native was knocked out anyways because what happened to him. So Native was knocked out already, and Toga would drag Ida and Native's body, or Ida out of the. Sorry. Toga would drag Ida and Native out of the alleyway. There you go. So then Deku and Stain would be like fighting, and Stain would talk about like fake heroes and all that, and yeah, he would start talking about fake heroes and how the society is corrupted. And Deku would say, "So you just kill and all whatever." And Stain would say, "Yeah, I only kill fake. I want to get rid of the fake heroes." And Deku, he would say like, "I really shouldn't be doing this, but since I'm doing it, I might as well kill you." And Stain would say, "What?" And Deku would crack his finger, and his Kaganes would pop out. And Stain is saying like, "What is that? Your quirk?" And Deku would say, "No, it's not a quirk. You see, I'm something more, something beyond a human." Stain is saying like, "What do you mean?" And Deku would say, "I'm a ghoul." Stain would say like, "Ghoul, like, oh, I've heard about you, like you monsters, like you eat humans and all that." And Deku would say, not all of us eat humans. Some do and some don't. But we all have in common is that we kill humans. And I'm gonna kill you. And then he charges at Stain. Stain would be cutting or like throwing knives at Deku, but he would block him with his Kagenes. Stain would be cutting Deku's Kagenes, but they would just regrow or like regenerate. And Toga would arrive, and she would say like, Deku, what are you doing? Why are you showing your Kagane? And he would say like, yeah, there's nothing to worry about. I'm gonna kill him anyways. And then Deku would stab a Kagane through Stain and stab his other 3 Kagenes into Stain and like rip him apart. And like it would just be like a mess of blood and just everything. Like his body parts are like all over the place, like his arms, legs, feet, and hands are like everywhere. There's blood everywhere too. And Toga would say like, what were you thinking? Like how we could explain this to the cops? And Deku would say, nothing too bad would happen. Plus, I don't think Ito would remember any of this anyway. So they would leave. They would take care of the Nomus, and yeah, that would be the end of the Stain arc. So Stain died. He's dead. So yeah. So yeah. What was it? Oh yeah, the final exams. Yeah. So the final exams would take place. It would be the same. Deku and Bakugo versus All Might. Since Mineta is not in this, Toga was replacing Mineta, so I think Mineta was with Sero. I think that's what his teammate was. Sero versus like Midnight or whatever. So yeah, but that's not really important right now. So Deku and Bakugo, they'll be entering the arena. Deku is trying to think of a plan. Bakugo is walking in front of him because he's annoyed with Deku, and he doesn't like being around him. And yeah, All Might would jump down. Bakugo would charge. All Might would just punch him, sending him flying towards Deku. Deku would catch him. He would set him on the ground. Then Deku would start fighting All Might. Deku was like throwing kicks, punches with his super strength. Some of them are landing, some are, but most of them are. And yeah. Then All Might would punch Deku in the stomach, sending him into a building. And yeah, Bakugo would get up. He would throw some explosions. Deku, he would like come out of the building and go for a kick towards the head, but All Might would grab his leg. But then Deku would twist his leg, and breaking it, and using his other leg to hit All Might on the other side of his face, and sending him to a building. And Deku, he lands. His leg is like all twisted, but it regenerates. And All Might would say like, I didn't know you had regeneration, Midoriya. Deku would say, yeah, it's a part of my quirk. And they would continue fighting. Bakugo would throw explosions. Deku would like be dodging the explosions and punching All Might and kicking him. Eventually, they will Bakugo's explosions would make like a smoke screen, and Deku would put the handcuffs on All Might, and they would win. So yeah, Deku and Bakugo would win. So yeah, training camp. Yeah. So they're on the bus towards the training camp. Deku, he's just sitting with Toga. They're like talking. They're talking. What else? They're talking about random stuff. And eventually the bus would stop. What else? Yeah, the bus would stop. They would meet the Wild Pussycats. Then Deku and the rest of his class would get pushed down by the landslide by Pixie Bob. I think that's her name. Can't remember. And yeah. The Beast Forest, they would start working together. What else? So Deku and Toga, they're working together, defeating the beasts or whatever they are. They're defeating them with just their strength. Yeah, they would arrive at the camp before anyone else. And once the rest of the class would arrive, they would be mad and they would ask like them why they left them. And Deku would say like, we're not always gonna be right here like by your side. Like you gotta learn to be independent and not depend on others and all that. Then they would eat. While Deku and Toga are eating, they would eat like they would pretend to eat, and then they would like make an excuse to go to the bathroom and like throw up everything or like spit everything out into like the toilet and all that. And yeah. Then the training would happen. Deku, he's just training his strength. So is Toga, and that's not really important. So night would come. What was it? The test of encouragement or whatever, or like the test of bravery. I don't remember what it was, but that would happen. Then the villains would attack. Deku, while he's in the forest, and he's just walking around. He's not even doing the test of bravery. He's just walking around. Then he would see the poisonous gas going everywhere. He would see the forest being set on fire by someone, and then he would see Koda about to be attacked by Muscular. And Deku, he would rush in. He would grab Koda and dodge the attack. I will say that Deku, he would knock out Koda because he doesn't want Koda to know what he's about to do. So he knocks him out by just like hitting him on like the back of his neck or whatever. And yeah, he sets him on the ground. Then he wouldn't do anything. Muscular would say, "What'd you do that for?" And Deku would say like, "Because I didn't want him to know what I was about to do to you." Or what am I I can't talk today, I'm sorry. Deku would say, like, "Cause I don't want Koda to know what I'm about to do to you." And Muscular would say, "Oh yeah, what are you gonna do to me, kid?" And Deku would pop his fingers and his cognities would show. And Muscular would say, I know, I've seen you before. You're that person who's been attacking the CCG, aren't you? And I did learn that, and I did learn the military thing. It was because of a comment. So, yeah. And, yeah. They would fight. Deku, I'm gonna say that Deku, he would rip, like, Muscular's muscle fibers out of his body. This is hurting him, or hurting Muscular really badly. And he's tearing through his flesh with his Koganes. He's biting him. It's just like there's blood going everywhere. Muscular, he's like all bloody and all that. He looks gross. And yeah, Deku would say, since you know I'm a ghoul, there's supposed to be no witnesses. And he would send one of his Koganes through Muscular's face and like ripping his like piercing his brain and going through his head, killing him. Deku, he throws away the brain. He leaves Muscular's body there. And yeah, he grabs Koda, he carries him towards the camp, and yeah. He would put away his Koganes before anyone would see them. He would arrive at the camp, he would set down Koda, and he would run back into the forest. Deku, he would run into Toga and Uraraka, Sue, and I would just say Toka. That's getting kind of confusing, Toga and Toka. Whatever. So Toga, she would like try to charge at Deku, but Deku would just dodge because he knows how to dodge weapons and all that. And he would just punch her in the face and send her into a tree and knock her out. And yeah. Deku would say, "Are you guys okay?" They would say, "Yeah, we're fine." Then Mr. Compress would show up. He would try to turn Deku into a marble, but he would just dodge out of the way. And yeah. And then Mr. Compress would leave. Then he would get Bakugo and Tokiyami. Deku would meet up with Todoroki, and then they would... Or, like, not Todoroki, Soji. He would meet up with Soji, and then Todoroki. And, as usual, Tokiyami would be set free from the marble, and Bakugo would be captured. And yeah, so that would be the end of the training camp. I would say while the heroes are preparing for the villain raid, like everyone's at the hospital, they're like I think they had a break. Like, I don't know if they had a break or not. I think they did. But while the heroes are preparing for the raid, Deku and Toga have been at the CCG just killing people. And like Deku's wearing his mask, obviously. And I would say Toga has a mask too. And yeah. Sorry for that long pause. Anyways. So they're just killing people at the CCG. It's been on the news many times that Deku and like sometimes Toga are shown like on the TV, or not shown, but like they have been reported by like the members of CCG that have survived, and like they're like wanted and all that. So that's what they've been doing. So I would say before the hero raid, Deku and Toga would do something, and no. They would go to the coffee shop. They would just be watching the All Might versus All for One. Sorry. Anyway, so they're watching and yeah. So they're watching. Eventually All Might would start getting the upper hand, but then All For One would punch All Might so hard that it nearly knocked him out, and All Might is like a lot more injured than he was in canon. And then, all out of nowhere, a bunch of ghouls come out, from underground, from like buildings, and like from the top of buildings. Like there's ghouls everywhere. They're showing their cognities and all that. They're attacking people. It's just crazy. And most of them are killing people. And there are some heroes like trying to like hold them off, but they're getting severely injured or killed and eaten. Deku would say like, ugh, what's going on? And he would run out of the coffee shop, and I would say that he would put on his mask. And yeah. So he would start running. Toga, she would be following, but she's like far behind Deku, because I'm gonna say Deku's like run a lot faster. And yeah. Deku would arrive. He would see everyone, or like he would see people like getting like attacked by ghouls. And yeah, like there's like a bunch of dead bodies. There's blood. There's guts. And yeah, it's just like carnage everywhere. There's like blood on the walls, like everywhere. I don't know if Kaneki has killed the ghoul before. I haven't watched Tokyo Ghoul in a long time. And yeah, I don't think he kills ghouls. So I want to say that he would just be like fighting them. He would be knocking them out. And then eventually the CCG would show up and start taking down the ghouls. And Deku would be fighting the ghouls, and eventually the CCG would spot him, and they would point their guns at him. And yeah. Yeah. I'm sorry for that long pause. Anyway, so they would point their guns at him. They would say, freeze, drop to the ground now. And Deku would say, oh yeah, what are you gonna do? And I'm gonna say that one of them would shoot at Deku, but Deku would just, or like Deku's one of his cognates would just block the bullet from hitting Deku. Deku would say, so you're gonna shoot me, huh? It's like, what do you think? Like, why? Like, can't you see I'm helping you guys? And like, help. Like one of them would say like, help. How are you helping us? Like, how have you helped us? You've been in our base killing people, or like killing soldiers or whatever they are. And yeah, Deku would say, I know you don't like me and I don't like you, but right now we have to work together. Like, if you want to kill me, like, that's not gonna happen. But he would he would make a deal with them. Like, I don't know how to make a deal, so I'm just gonna say that Deku makes a deal with them, and he would be done explaining, and Deku would say like, so, do we have a deal? And the CCG are hesitating, and they would say, all right, we have a deal. And Deku would say, I finished the last few goals here. Where are the others? I would say that someone has like a map of the city, like a virtual map of the city, and they're saying like the upper part of the city has goals, like we should go there. And Deku would say, all right, time to get these bastards. And that's where I'm gonna leave it off. So I hope you guys liked this part. So yeah, I hope you guys liked it. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.